Hi everyone, let's talk about Joy Reid because she's been in the news over the last 2 days or so. This is from the New York Post. MSNBC star's lame excuse after homophobic remarks surface. MSNBC star Joy Reid claims that homophobic comments on our old blog, The Reid Report, were not written by her, despite the fact she has already apologised for much of the rhetoric. Reid apologised last December when old blog posts unearthed by a Twitter user and reported by Mediate came to light. Less than 5 months later, Reid is changing her tune and told Mediate that the homophobic content does not represent the original entries on her site, essentially claiming the archives were hacked. Reid allegedly published a dozen blog posts from 2007 to 2009 containing remarks that are highly offensive to the LGBTQ community. MSNBC prides itself on being progressive, and Reid's alleged decade-old comments directly contradict the network's typical direction. So she's written some blog posts a decade ago which could be considered homophobic. She came out in December and apologised for them. Some more have come to light in the last week or so, and now she's saying, "Oh, I didn't write them; it was hacked." Is this their excuse for everything now? Is this their excuse? It's just, oh well, if something it looks bad on me, let's just say they were hacked. I'm surprised she hasn't come out and said the Russians did it. The old blog targeted former Florida Governor Charlie Crist, who Reid mocked as Miss Charlie for being gay and closeted, even though there is no proof to back her claims. The post fanned rumours of Crist's sexual orientation, and his political opponents tried to tar him with the gossip during his governorship when he was a Republican. So this is typical of the liberal media who are in lockstep with the DNC. They just smear people. That's all they've got. That's the only weapon they've got in their arsenal. Why? Because they don't actually stand for anything that people would vote for. Mediate reported that it received links to Reid's old blog through the Wayback Machine, an internet archiving service. Reid apologised at the time, admitting she wrote the homophobic slurs. This is what she wrote back in December. "This note is my apology to all who are disappointed with the content of blogs I wrote a decade ago, for which my choice of words and tone have legitimately been criticised. I regret the way I addressed the complex issue of the closet and speculation on a person's sexual orientation with a mocking tone and sarcasm. It was insensitive, tone deaf, and dumb. There is no excusing it. Insensitive, tone deaf, and dumb." It sounds like Joy Reid to me. Additional anti-gay posts from the now-defunct blog were discovered last week, and the Wayback Machine has reportedly mysteriously removed access to Reid's old archives. But an internet sleuth preserved the screenshots. Reid's latest statement to Mediate backtracks on the original apology and claims that archives of her site have been tampered with. So she said that they've been tampered with, they've been hacked, the things have been changed, I didn't write them, and the Wayback Machine has now reportedly mysteriously removed access to them. In December, I learned that an unknown external party accessed and manipulated the material from my now defunct blog, The Reid Report, to include offensive and hateful references that are fabricated and run counter to my personal beliefs and ideology. You've already apologised for them and admitted you wrote them. Do you think that people haven't got memories or access to the internet? The manipulated material seems to be part of an effort to taint my character with false information by distorting a blog that ended a decade ago, which you've already admitted that you wrote and apologised for. Oh. The old blog post belittled Crist as dreading physical relations with his wife on their honeymoon, and even included a joke about Crist having sex with Senator John McCain. Reid commented that in the blog that Crist got married to a woman in the first place to help him become McCain's 2008 running mate. Media counted 17 times Reid's blog derisively referred to Crist as Miss Charlie, and the subject led her to opine on why gay men stay in the closet. When a gay politician gets married, she said, it usually indicates that he is highly ambitious and desires to put himself in a position to move up the power ladder. So she's saying, oh, he's got married for political reasons. He's gay. Isn't that slander? The blog further mocked Chris with tags gay politicians and not gay politicians. The alleged posts were written at the time when Chris was a conservative Republican. Back in 2012, Chris joined the Democratic Party and endorsed Barack Obama for re-election. I wonder if she's made these gay slurs about him since he's became a Democrat. Of course not. Of course she hasn't. It goes on to say, and this is just to say it wasn't just those comments. Reid's old blog also defended a series of controversial homophobic comments made by former NBA star Tim Hardaway and Marine General Peter Pace, and attempted to out then-closeted gay men Anderson Cooper and Clay Aiken, attempting to out gay people. The website also questioned or made jokes about the sexuality of Karl Rove, Tom Cruise, Sean Hannity, Heath Ledger, Dick Cheney, George Bush, Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, Queen Latifah, Eddie Murphy and Keith Olbermann. So this is not just one person she's attacking. She was going after all gay people by the look of it, or anybody that she thought might possibly be gay. The Reid report reportedly even mocked the sexuality of her now superstar colleague, Rachel Maddow. This is so hypocritical. It really is, because I seem to remember Joy Reid attacking Steve Scalise for anti-gay comments that he's made. I seem to remember her doing that when he got shot, even when he was recovering from being shot. It's so hypocritical. It really is. And then to say that, yes, I admit it, I apologise, and then 5 months later say, oh, no, it was hacked. It's just so pathetic. And it reminds me, where are the social justice warriors? Now, I don't think that Joy Reid should be fired or anything like this over stuff that she wrote 10 years ago. I don't think that at all. But it just shows you how these social justice warriors on the left will only come after people they don't like. If somebody they do like or they do approve of says basically the same thing or worse, they won't go after them. Where are the social justice warriors going after Joy Reid right now to resign when they all ganged up and went after Cenk Uygur when some anti-women post that he wrote 20 years ago that I read and thought, well, that's not that bad. That was not nearly as bad as what Joy Reid's been allegedly said. And yet they all came down on him and said, oh, he must resign. And he ended up resigning from the Justice Democrats, which he co-founded. They're just hypocrites and they've got no fucking morals whatsoever. For instance, she was pro-Bernie until he ran against Hillary Clinton. And then all of a sudden she couldn't say enough bad things about him. They've got no morals, these people haven't. And Joy Reid is the queen of it. She really is. She's disgusting. And she gets paid what? Probably $20,000 a day by MSNBC. That's the state of the cable news in America. It's pathetic. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe. Please click the bell if you want to see any more videos of mine. I want to say a big thank you to all my patrons, and I also want to say thank you to the people who sent me money via PayPal. As you can probably tell, my voice is nice and crisp right now, and that's because of the money that was sent to me on PayPal. I've invested it in a better microphone, and I've also invested it in, you will see next week, I've bought a background. This background, I'll show it on the screen, and that's going to go here. I've actually just put my guitar there at the moment because somebody was complaining it was too plain, and I need to step up my game. So I want to say thank you to all the people who support me. I couldn't do it without your help, and I'm eternally grateful. So thanks very much for watching, and until next time, peace and take care.